into English?
Girl of Vietnam with Golden Skin, Người Con Gái Việt Nam. Yeah,
that was the first one that you translated.
Was the first one.
And you know, that being the first one, how was the difficulty in it? What kind of process did you go through to translate? That is true.
They're like soup. You put the ingredients in, but you're constantly tweaking it. You find better words, better phrases, clearing up mistakes. People point out things that that didn't mean that. It really meant something else. And over time, it cooks and comes out the way they have. Oh, well, actually, it was just missing an accent. The one interpretation in Người Con Gái Việt Nam Nha Bang, yêu quê hương như đã yêu mình, could mean, I originally translated that as you love home as you love me. Thinking Lin was Trinh Công Sơn. Everyone I knew said, no, 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 it's not that at all. Then I said, oh, well then you love home as you love yourself. I said, yeah, but of course that doesn't work. So in the end, we decided for you love home as you love your womanhood. I never had a chance to ask Trinh Công Sơn whether he intended it that way, but if people interpreted it that way, I decided that since everybody seemed to agree, we'll leave it.
Leave it
so
that
these
way.
were some of the issues at that time.
So the version that you have currently, how do you feel about the accuracy and the
I feel good about the 7 that I translated. I feel good about them, even though 2 were only 2 years old. They're still fresh, but I feel like they're setting pretty firm now.
So you say that you just mentioned 7. You have 7 songs that you've translated total. And what are those songs? You have Go Gai Việt Nam.
Yeah, there's that one. Tình ca của người mất trí, the love song of a deranged woman. Đại Bác Ru Dem, the lullaby of the artillery. Đi tìm quê hương, which is, I can't remember what I called it because I don't sing it anymore.
Tìm quê hương sounds like looking for your homeland.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's on there somewhere. Because I almost never perform it. Then, let's see, that's 4. 5 is Ya Tai Của Mẹ, A Mother's Heritage. And then the 2 new ones were the Ca Yao Mẹ, what do we decide to call that? A Mother's Lament. Mother's Lament.
A Mother's Lament.
And the last one was Noi Vom Tai Lung, The Great Circle of Vietnam, which we'll hear at the end of the show.
Hear that at the end of the show. Now, at the moment, you must have a very good command of Vietnamese in order to, you know, take these lyrics and translate them into English, as well as communicate with those who could possibly help you in the process. Is that right?
Fortunately, in 71 and 72, for the earlier 5, there were Vietnamese in the States who spoke English. They disagreed with each other over the meaning. So the difficulty there was finding a level of meaning that everybody might agree to. Trinh Công Sơn was still alive then, and unfortunately long-distance phone calls were extremely expensive to try to call back and forth.
Because they weren't as easy back then, yeah.
Where anybody asked Trinh Công Sơn about the meanings of the songs, Trinh Công Sơn said it's like art. It means to you what it means.
You interpret it how you like.
You have to, yeah. So I feel that he gave us that, but at the same time, I try to get into the background of every song, every incident, whatever they're singing about, to try to understand not just what the words are saying from the dictionary, but what's behind it as best as a foreigner can do without being Vietnamese.
That's right.
And presenting that, and then Vietnamese people would agree that this is as close as it's going to get.
Right.
That's why I say it can't be more than 60 or 70%. You just can't. There's so many things that are culturally bound. Yiem Sua, I never translated, and I won't even try. It's too cultural. It's too, you have to know that situation.
It's very specific.
Scenes can be done, but they won't evoke that kind of emotion in other people, I don't think.
You chose to translate the Kup Zavan, which is the yellow skin songs.
Right.
You translated those into English. Can you just kind of briefly explain to us why you specifically chose those songs?
Yeah, that's what interested me about Trinh Công Sơn was when he died. I didn't get to see him in 2001. I missed him by 2 hours. I didn't know about it.
Really?
But I quickly went out and we had a wreath made, and the only thing I could think of was that he was the window for me into the heart of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
It was through his his portrayal of what was happening to people and to the country at that time. We could see it. We were living here, anybody who lived here. And that's why the Kak Hop Yavang, I wanted to take them home, get them into English, so that Americans, especially Americans at that time, could hear them and feel more sympathetic with the Vietnamese people, and therefore put pressure on to end the war.
At any time, did you get a chance to sing your songs that you translated in English for Trinh Công Sơn, composer?
For him, yeah.
You
in
did?
1993.
And what was
we had
that?
a week together.
What was his response?
The pictures are, I think somebody took pictures of the picture. You can see his face, the way he's
smoking his cigarette.
Always with his cigarette. But he definitely, it wasn't just a polite thing, because he invited me back, and then there were other people who said, yeah, you got to hear this. And then I went to a studio and made a tape for him, dedicated it, and I think it's upstairs in his studio now. I think I saw it, but they say it's damaged, that it won't play.
So you mentioned that you did return in 2001. You returned to Vietnam in 2001, but unfortunately you missed Trinh Công Sơn before he passed away by about 2 hours. Can you kind of elaborate more on that experience, that event?
Right. When I was here during the war, it was with a group called Chi Nguyen Quốc Tế, or International Voluntary Services. IVS was the acronym. And another IVSer had not been back to Vietnam since 70, I think he left 72. His contract ended, and he wanted to come back, so he flew out to Thailand, and I brought him over to Saigon. On the day I went to see Trinh Công Sơn, it was a Sunday, so I told Bill, you might as well stay in the hotel. There's no use to go out. It's not anybody you know. It's all in Vietnamese. You won't enjoy it. So I found a we went by Ciclo, a Ciclo driver who knew where it was. And we parked the Ciclo outside, walked down the lane, and there were all these people. I said, wow, look at this. He's still having parties, you know, just like before.
Yeah.
So I was really happy. I went in and went inside the gate and turned to the first person I saw and said, is An Sheng upstairs? And the guy turned to me and said, oh, no, you can't go. They haven't washed the body yet. That was a shock. When? He said, oh, around 12:30. And it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Oh, it's 2 hours.
So I realized I'd never get to see him again.
Oh,
we couldn't talk about, then it would have been 93, 2001, 8 years.
8 years.
It must have been a dream, I said, but know what I had heard.
Richard often warms up his English class by singing Trinh Công Sơn songs in English with them. With patience and care, he teaches them how to pronounce each word and how to sing the songs. He wants to do some jobs at the same time, teaching students English and sharing with him the love for Trinh Công Sơn songs. After teaching English in Ho Chi Minh City for nearly 10 years, he has had many students who can sing the songs in English with apparent ease.
Thầy cần mang những cái bài hát rồi những cái vào trong cái bài học thì dạy cho bọn em thì bọn em sẽ nói tốt hơn.
Nhiều khi học cũng căng thẳng nhưng mà được học hát mà tiếng Anh thì em cảm thấy vui, hay. Thầy hát rất là hay, cái giọng của thầy truyền cảm, em thích thầy hát quá.